GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action. Live from the GMNA News Center, this is the Lunch Break News Hour.
Good afternoon, Montreal. A penalty kick gave Nashville a 1-0 win over CF Montréal, and the Alouettes are set to debut Deadman against Hamilton. Meanwhile, traffic's only seeing minor delays and the weather looks clear for tonight's El International des Feux. Over to you, Jeff.
Jerry Seinfeld will perform live at the Bell Center on Saturday, July 26, with doors opening at 6 p.m. and the show starting at 7 p.m.
Tickets are available in 3 price tiers. General admission from $35, premium seats from $60, and VIP packages up to $150, sold through the official website.
The performance marks Seinfeld's first stand-up appearance in Montreal since his 2019 World Tour, and the show will feature classic routines alongside new material.
Lots to get to, CJ. We've got a packed day ahead, so let's dive right into the news and start sharing what matters to Montrealers. Good morning, Montreal.
CF Montreal fell to Nashville SC yesterday at Geodis Park in a Major League Soccer regular season clash that ended in a 1-0 defeat. The only goal arrived in the second half when Nashville earned a penalty kick, which the designated taker converted without reply. CF Montreal applied pressure throughout the opening period, generating several chances, yet they were unable to find the net before the spot kick settled the contest. The match concluded with Nashville collecting 3 points and Montreal departing the field empty-handed. The result leaves Nashville with a full 3 points from the encounter, while Montreal adds another loss to its road itinerary. Both clubs will look to regroup as the season advances toward its final phase. The fixture formed part of the league's mid-season schedule, with each side aiming to improve its standing as the campaign moves forward.
16 caribou calves were born in captivity in Quebec this year, officials confirmed Monday. The births mark the largest single-year addition to the province's managed herds, but wildlife experts warn that they underscore a persistent problem. Quebec has yet to restore sufficient natural habitat for the species. Without viable wilderness, the province continues to rely on captive breeding programs to prevent local extinction. Researchers noted that the calves, raised at 2 government-run facilities, will remain under intensive care for several months before being introduced to semi-wild enclosures. They added that while the births are a short-term boost, long-term recovery hinges on re-establishing large, undisturbed tracts of boreal forest. Until then, the province's caribou will remain largely dependent on human-maintained populations. Provincial wildlife officials said the program will continue to receive funding through next fiscal cycle, reflecting the government's commitment to safeguard the species while habitat projects move forward.
Strawberry growers across Quebec are turning to off-soil cultivation as the province's warming climate makes traditional open-field production increasingly risky. Farmers plan to harvest berries inside raised field shelters that keep the plants above the ground, eliminating direct soil contact and shielding crops from erratic temperature swings and heavy rain. The approach, already used in small trials, relies on hydroponic nutrient solutions and controlled environments to mimic ideal growing conditions while conserving water. Producers say the method could extend the season and reduce losses tied to sudden frosts or heat spikes that have become more common in recent years. Agricultural officials note the shift reflects a broader move toward protected agriculture as Quebec seeks to preserve its reputation for high-quality fruit despite climate pressures. If successful, the technique could serve as a model for other fruit growers facing similar climate challenges across the province.
Deadman will step onto the field for his first game with the Alouettes on Tuesday when the team hosts the Hamilton Tiger Cats. The return specialist joins the roster to breathe new life into a kick return unit that has struggled in recent weeks. Coaching staff hope his speed and vision will give the special teams squad a spark and improve field position early in the contest. The move follows a series of roster tweaks aimed at sharpening the Alouettes' overall play after a mixed start to the season. Fans can expect a fresh dynamic on punt and kickoff returns, with Deadman slated to handle both duties if the coaches keep him on the ball. The game at Percival Molson Memorial Stadium promises an extra layer of excitement as the Alouettes look to turn the tide against Hamilton.
Yesterday, the SDM confirmed that Android smartphones can now hold Opus Transit passes for riders throughout the Greater Montreal area. The update lets users load their Opus card onto compatible Android devices and tap the phone at turnstiles, eliminating the need for the traditional plastic card. The digital option works across the metro, bus, and commuter train networks, and requires the same fare validation as a physical card. SDM officials said the feature rolled out at 15 minutes past 3 Eastern Daylight Time, and is available to any Android handset supporting near-field communication. Riders who previously relied on a physical Opus card can simply open the transit app, add their pass, and begin tapping immediately. The change aligns with broader efforts to modernize fare payment, and offers a convenient alternative for the growing number of Android users in the region.
From a tornado that ripped through the Laurentians to our top headlines, we've got the latest. Stay tuned, we will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
Welcome back, everyone. Here, what's happening in our city, and now Jeff Laflamme brings you the local stories you need to hear.
Canada's men's national soccer team will host Chile and Peru for 2 international friendlies later this summer. The first match is set for September 26th in Toronto, while the second will be played October 3rd on home soil in Montreal. Both games are part of the Federation's preparation for next year's major tournaments, offering fans a chance to see the squad in action against South American opposition. Ticket sales are already underway, and local businesses anticipate a boost in traffic as supporters gather at stadiums and nearby restaurants. Public transit will increase service on match days, making it easier for families to attend without driving. For residents who enjoy a night out, the Montreal fixture provides an opportunity to combine sport with the city's vibrant dining scene. The events also give aspiring players a glimpse of the level required to compete internationally.
Damage across the Laurentians on yesterday was linked to a storm officials now suspect was a tornado. Environment Canada confirmed the assessment after teams surveyed toppled trees, shredded roofs, and scattered debris along the highway corridor. Dominic Martel, a senior meteorologist with the agency, said the pattern of destruction matches the vortex tracks typical of tornadoes, a phenomenon rarely seen in Quebec. The investigation will focus on pinpointing the storm's origin and determining whether any warning systems were triggered. Residents described hearing a loud, rolling roar before the wind tore through homes and farms, leaving several families without power. Cleanup crews are already on the ground, and authorities are urging anyone with additional observations to report them to the agency. Officials noted the rarity of such events in the province and said the findings will inform future storm preparedness.
Canada Transport Safety Board cites temperature swings in Quebec train derailment. The Transportation Safety Board of Canada said its investigation of a freight train derailment in northern Quebec in December 2025 could not determine a single definitive cause. However, the board identified rapid temperature fluctuations as a possible contributing factor. The incident occurred on a remote line in the province's north, sending several cars off the tracks and prompting a suspension of service while crews cleared the site. No injuries were reported, but the derailment disrupted freight movements for days. The board's report notes that extreme temperature changes can affect rail integrity and equipment performance, and it will continue to examine additional data before issuing findings. The incident involved a freight service operated by a railway company, and the line remains closed pending inspections. Officials said the board will collaborate with the railway to review track conditions and equipment performance.
Power was knocked out across Laval Wednesday morning after violent storms rolled through the region yesterday. Utilities confirmed that more than 40,000 households in the city remain without electricity, contributing to a province-wide total of over 58,000 homes in the dark. Residents reported loss of air conditioning, refrigeration, and lighting during the heat of the day, forcing many to rely on neighbors or temporary generators. Crews from the electric company are on the streets, prioritizing critical services and working through the afternoon to restore service. Officials said the storms brought down trees and damaged lines, and repairs could stretch into the coming days. The outage has disrupted home offices, schoolwork, and small businesses that rely on electricity for computers and refrigeration. Authorities urge people to conserve any remaining power and to stay alert for updates as restoration progresses.
The genetic analysis released yesterday revealed that melanoma tumors can be transmitted between catfish populations in Quebec and the northeastern United States. Researchers examined tissue samples from multiple farms and wild streams, identifying a shared cancer-linked DNA signature that moves through skin cells during mating or injury. While melanoma in humans is classified as non-contagious, the study joins a short list of documented transmissible cancers in wildlife, such as the facial tumor disease in Tasmanian devils and the sea lion leukemia in California. Scientists caution that the finding does not imply a risk to people and suggests a need for monitoring fish health in commercial and recreational waters. The work, published in a peer-reviewed journal, suggests that disease management strategies may have to consider genetic pathways that allow cancer cells to spread across individuals.
Let's get a look at your afternoon forecast with our meteorologist for today.
A westward jet and rising pressure squeeze out moisture, leaving Montreal under a dry, overcast noon. The all-time high for July 23 stands at 30.9 degrees, recorded in 2022 during an extended heat wave that pushed the province into the upper 30s. The all-time low is 14.6 degrees, set in 2025 when an Arctic trough slipped unusually far south, blanketing the city in bitter air for several days. By contrast, the climate normal for this date hovers around a high of 22 and a low of 13, making today's 20-degree overcast feel modest. The live radar displays a clean swath across southern Quebec, with no echoes over the island. A weak ridge of high pressure over the Great Lakes pushes dry air westward under a jet stream blowing at 64 kilometers per hour from the west. With no moisture to feed storms, the map will stay quiet through the afternoon, and the clouds will thin as the ridge strengthens later this evening. Turning now to today's outlook. At noon, the city sits under a thick overcast, temperature 20 degrees, humidity 66%, and a gentle west wind at 10 kilometers per hour with gusts up to 34. Pressure is near average, but nudging upward, signaling drier, more stable air moving in behind the jet stream that streams westward at 64 kilometers per hour aloft. By mid-afternoon, the sun will break through, climbing to a high of 24 degrees under clear skies, while the wind shifts to the southwest and peaks near 26 kilometers per hour, feeling brisk. The ultraviolet index sits at 6, and no weather alerts are in effect. As the sun sets around 8:33, temperatures will dip to 13 degrees, leaving a calm night. Looking ahead, Friday brings a clear sky and a high of 27 degrees with a low of 15, as the ridge stays anchored over the region. Saturday's sunshine yields a high of 29 and a low of 18, though clouds thicken. Sunday remains overcast, high 28, low 19, while the jet stream drifts northward, keeping moisture at bay. Monday sees a modest warm front. Clouds linger and rain chances rise to 35% with a high of 27 and a low of 20. Tuesday turns wet, with light rain throughout, a high of 23, a low of 17, and an 85% chance of precipitation. The pattern shifts from dry summer warmth to a cooler, wetter stretch by midweek. And that's your weather. Remember, the lunch break is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.
Traffic's light, but you won't want to miss Jerry Seinfeld live. Look at the Alouettes. Season and Steve's Music Store Spotlight. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
The biggest hit this morning is the southbound Daiquiri Expressway, closed and diverted onto Daiquiri Boulevard. Expect a queue from the Côte St. Lucian to the Turcotte interchange, adding 15 minutes. Northbound traffic in the Louis Hippolyte Lafontaine Tunnel is halted. Southbound runs in contraflow, so drivers should allow extra time and follow signs. On the east, the Bonaventure Expressway near the Victoria Bridge runs with one lane closed, while the Claymont Bridge carries a single westbound lane. The service road between Tellier and Notre Dame Streets is down to one lane, and the Gouin to Henry Bourassa corridor has 2 of 4 lanes shut. Highway 520 also sees narrowed traffic as a lane was removed for overpass work. Transit, the yellow metro line is out at Barrie-UQAM after a power outage, so riders must use the green line. Bus 55 runs with minor delays from the traffic. Overall, most routes are moving, but plan for slower speeds and possible detours.
Jerry Seinfeld takes the stage tonight at Place des Arts. Sal Wilfrid Pelletier delivering his signature observational comedy as part of the Just for Laughs festival, a must-see laugh for anyone looking to unwind. Seinfeld's return to Montreal offers a rare chance to hear the legend's material fresh, so grab tickets while they last. Across the city, the International des Feux Lot Quebec lights up the sky from the Jacques Cartier Bridge to the Old Port, marking its 40th anniversary with synchronized fireworks that turn any evening into a celebration. The competition pits teams from across Canada, turning each burst into a friendly rivalry you can watch from any iconic bridge. In Parc Lafontaine, Haiti N. Foley brings vibrant music, dance, and cuisine, offering a taste of Caribbean culture right in the heart of Montreal. Montreal Pride rolls out later this week with a downtown parade and concerts that showcase local queer artists, filling the streets with color and pride. And now here's Jason with sports.
CFL receiver aims for record chase, Habs lock up forwards and new associate coach joins. Alouettes wide receiver Tyson Philpott told Sportsnet that maintaining his health could allow him to post numbers high enough to challenge existing CFL receiving records this season. He expressed confidence, noting the early signs are promising for a potential record-breaking campaign. The Canadiens announced they have re-signed forwards Jard Davidson and Hunter McCown to 1 year, two-way contracts for the 2026-27 season. The short-term deals add depth to Montreal's forward group as the club prepares for training camp. Montreal confirmed Derek Lalonde's appointment as associate coach on July 20th. Lalonde brings NHL experience from his assistant tenure with the Tampa Bay Lightning, where he contributed to back-to-back Stanley Cup victories. His addition bolsters the Habs' coaching staff heading into the new season.
Steve's Music Store on St. Laurent in downtown Montreal has been the go-to spot for guitarists, drummers, and budding composers for 62 years. Today, the family-run shop announced it will auction off its remaining inventory as the doors prepare to close for the final time. From vintage amps that once sang on local stages to sheet music that taught generations of students, the sale is a farewell to a place that has shaped the city's sound. Neighbors say the storefront feels like a living museum of Montreal's musical heritage, and its loss will echo through the cafes and rehearsal rooms that have relied on its expertise. It matters because every chord struck in the city once passed through Steve's hands. And now a heartwarming tale. 16 captive caribou calves have just been born in Quebec, a hopeful sign for wildlife. Stay tuned.
Coming up tonight at 6, the local sunset. Your neighborhood, your city, your news. From City Hall decisions to the stories happening right on your street, we cover what matters most to Montrealers. Join us tonight at 6 p.m. on GMNA for the local Sunset Montreal's evening newscast.
The world's biggest comedy festival, Just for Laughs Montreal 2026, kicks off today at Place des Arts with headline shows that have drawn global stars and thousands of fans to downtown Montreal's Quartier des Spectacles. The buzz is electric and the city is laughing out loud. Carl Dumont is there. Carl Dumont.
Thanks, CJ Waterhouse. I'm standing on the marble steps of Place des Arts, the neon lights of St. Catherine flickering above a sea of laughing faces. The scent of fresh croissants mixes with the buzz of street musicians as crowds spill from the outdoor stage at Place des Festivals onto the cobblestones. Tonight, the legendary Jerry Seinfeld steps into the Salle Wilfrid Pelletier, his microphone glinting under the chandelier, while Weird Al Yankovic rehearses a parody that has fans chanting in both French and English. The festival runs from July 15 to 26, filling every theater, bar, and alley in the Quartier des Spectacles with jokes that bounce off the historic facades. For many Montrealers, this is more than a comedy marathon. It's a shared moment where strangers become friends over a punchline, reminding us that laughter can stitch a city together. Nearby, a vendor sells orange popcorn and balloon animals, while teenagers snap selfies with the festival logo painted on a mural, their laughter echoing down the boulevard. Carl Dumont virtually at Place des Arts.
On a crisp autumn morning in the heart of the Mile End, Minister Martin Byron stepped onto the modest stage set up in front of the local bakery that doubles as a community hub. Neighbors gathered around the red brick facade, coffee cups steaming, children perched on crates, their faces bright with curiosity. Byron, known for championing higher education and women's status, unfolded a simple parchment announcing she will seek another term for the Coalition Avenir Quebec in the Chutes de la Chaudière riding this October. As she spoke, a retired teacher handed her a handmade bookmark embroidered with the words "Future Focused," and a group of university students presented a small banner stitched with the district's name in bold letters. The crowd responded with a chorus of applause that lingered like the scent of fresh baguettes in the air. In that moment, the community felt the promise of continuity and the shared belief that their voices matter in the province's future. It's moments like this, where ordinary streets become a stage for collective hope, that remind us why we're all in this together.
On a crisp Saturday morning in the heart of the Gouin neighborhood, the bustling market on St. Lawrence Street was alive with the hum of vendors and the scent of fresh bagels. It was there that a small crowd gathered outside the Liberal Party office after news broke that the party had withdrawn the nomination of actor Mitchell Savard, who had been slated to run in the upcoming provincial election. Savard had posted a series of Facebook comments months ago that likened the Parti Québécois to a regime from a dark chapter of history. When the post resurfaced, the party acted swiftly, issuing a public apology and asking Savard to step aside, a move that was met with quiet applause from passers-by. One onlooker, a retired teacher, remarked that the quick response reminded her of the city's long tradition of holding public figures to account. The moment that lingered was the collective sigh of relief as the community saw a commitment to respectful discourse reaffirmed. In Montreal, that quiet affirmation of accountability is a reminder that our public conversation can still be guided by care and responsibility.
Thanks for joining us, Montreal, and for staying with the lunch break. Today's glimpse into 16 newborn caribou in Quebec reminded us of nature's resilience. We appreciate your curiosity and look forward to bringing you more stories tomorrow. See you then and have a great evening.